Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I really wanted to do not even just a story time, just let you guys be informed about some things, because when I first started working at Guess, I did make a video that was so long ago, and I kind of just want to do an update video because I haven't really spoke on why I left Guess, and I kind of wanted to inform people, not just because like I wanted to be like F you to the company. I love the company, I love the clothes. Honestly, I did not even do this on purpose because I forgot I was filming this video, but I am wearing this mesh Guess top. This was one of the last items that I did buy from Guess before I left. I've never worn it, but I thought it was really cute. I don't know why I never wore it, but I wanted to wear it today. So it's not a bad video. It's just my experience with the company, like what I went through, because I worked at one specific location. So this is not speaking on the whole company in general. Like I said, I still wear the clothes. Like I'm in my closet and I can look right now, and half of my closet is from Guess, and I wear the Guess clothes. I recommend the Simone high-waisted skinnies. Those are my favorite because they are named after me, but they do fit the body so good. Here, Cindy's. I love my power skinnies. Those were my favorite. Those were the first pair of jeans I've ever bought when I first started working at Guess. Went in there, used my discount, and that was it. I bought that. Like, it was like, I love Guess. This is from Guess. Yeah, I really do. I think it's a great company to work for. But it wasn't like that for my location. There was some things that I didn't like and some things that I love. So regardless of what happened at the location I worked at, I'm not going to tell you guys. If you know, you know. People who know me personally, who work with me, who watch my videos, they know, girl, what's up? But I'm not going to tell you which location I worked at, just because I don't want people to be like, oh, I don't want to work there. Different management and different team altogether. And this, when I first started working at Guess, that was like in 2015. That was so long ago. How long ago? 2015. That was 5 years ago. So a lot has changed. I have changed. My mindset, everything has changed. So I don't want anyone to get the wrong impression because of this video. So if you do want to find out why I left Guess, and really my story about my experience at Guess, then keep on watching. I really want to take it to like the beginning, because like I want you guys to understand my experience with everything. So me and my friend, we love going to the mall. Like, this was after graduation. We graduated in May 2015. There was really nothing else to do, and when there was nothing else to do, we would go to the mall. And my friend told me there was a job fair going on at the mall, so I was like, let's just go see who was, you know, hiring. I wasn't really looking for a job, I would say. I was keeping my eyes open, but like, I mean, everyone loves to work at the mall. I mean, I was a shopaholic at the time, so for me, working at the mall would be like perfect, because I was always there. Like, me and my cousin would go there after school, whatever. It was just a typical day. So we went to the mall and we were looking at the stores. We saw Guess, and oh, that's so rude. Oh my god, all my notifications are coming in all at once. That's rude. That's rude. So we saw Guess, and it wasn't like my friend wanted to work there. He was like, oh, that's a girl store, I don't want to work there. Comes to find out, like a few years later, he does end up working there. He loves working there. But yeah, that's not my story to tell. So I said, okay, let's see, like, let's just ask them like what they're hiring for, just like part-time, full-time, whatever. And we talked to the managers, and they were saying, I'm not really sure if it was the managers who were working there at the moment. Like I said, I wasn't familiar with the Guess store. Like, I was familiar with Guess. If anyone knows me, I love horror movies, scary movies, whatever. But I like the old time fashion, like the beginnings. Like, I loved Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street. And one thing that I definitely knew about those movies is that Levi's and Guess Denim were the main denim companies back in the day when those movies were made. So I was familiar with Guess, and I was like, I want to work for Guess. I've always wanted to work for Guess because of that, because it's that denim company. It's like, who didn't know about Guess? Like the Marilyn Monroes, like who don't know? Like Guess is such an iconic name. Like everyone knows about Guess. Everyone knows about Marciano. Like, so I was like, okay. So I was talking to them. They're like, we're just hiring for temporary because we're reopening our store. I mean, at the time when I was going to the mall all the time, I never realized the Guess store because it was always on the side of the mall where it was less traffic, but it was high traffic. It makes no sense, but I never really saw where the Guess store was until now. So they said they were hiring for people just to come in and help them redecorate, reinvent the store basically. And I was like, cool, no commitment, what's up? And honestly, come to find out, people who were, I would say redo or re-innovate the store got paid more than just a regular associate, like a full-time, part-time. But that, I'll tell you more about that later. So I was like, okay, cool. So it was funny because I was wearing nails just like this because these are my they're not nails like this because at the time I was wearing press-on nails. I don't know why I was not spending money on my nails at all until I worked at Guess. But so I had on these little press-on nails, and like during the time we were opening the store, there was a point where we had to do shipment. Shipment is just basically opening like clothes and putting sensors on them, basically put them in the store. So I was doing purses at the moment. I was doing accessories. So I remember doing them, and purses at Guess are the hardest things to do in shipment. I don't like doing accessories at all when I worked at Guess. And I mean, retail in general, because that's not the only retail store I worked at. So I was like doing it, opening them, and I realized I was missing like 5 nails on my hands. I was like, oh my god, they're in the shipment. So that was one thing that was really funny. There was like a little bit of drama because some of the girls, they didn't really make it in there that long. They're like, I don't know, I didn't really talk to them. They didn't last long, so I don't know them. But I do remember there was a few people that stood out to me. There was this one boy that went to the same school as me. He had first of all, he had on a Bluetooth headphone thing, you know, like the ones back in the old days, like where people like be talking to themselves and you really be like, huh, what, are you talking to me? And he's like, you know, like them old school ones, like before AirPods. So he always had that. He had that in when we was doing the shipment and everything. He had on jeans. Like, he really didn't come prepared, but I realized I had math class with him when I went to school with him. So he stood out. I was like, okay. He didn't really make it that long because I guess he wasn't moving slow or whatever. And then there was one girl. She was so pretty. Oh my god. Like, I'm not going to say her name. I'm going to protect everyone's identity in this video. But she was so pretty. She was almost like me, like high maintenance type of girl. Like gorgeous Hispanic girl with curly hair, lashes. Like that stood out to me. Her highlight, like she was just beautiful. And it was her and her boyfriend. So I became friends with them. I didn't know her boyfriend. I'm not sure if he went to school with me. Honestly, where I worked, a lot of people went to school with me. Even my store manager from a while ago, she's an alumni from the school I went to, so that's cool. I met a lot of alumni through Guess, but yeah, so they stood out. There was a few more people. Some people did some shady things in the company, but you know, that's not my story either to tell. But it's like I met some people, I made some friends, and that was cool because I didn't have friends. I mean, it was after high school, and I was so done with the high school friends because I was like, y'all don't really know me. I'm ready to move up. All right, get in my grind, you know. So I met them during that process of resetting up the store. But some people were hired as temporary, and some people, they were hired to be associates after the store opened, but they also did contribute to helping open the store basically. So that's why I met them. They were already going to be working at Guess. I was not supposed to be working. I was just going to be working temporary until, you know, whatever. So yeah, after I met them, the store was already open. I remember talking to the store manager. She was really people didn't like her, people liked her. It was just like she had that attitude about her that's like, you know, like you could tell she was like taking her job a little too serious, but like that's her baby. Now I understand it as a grown woman, I guess, or a young adult. I understand why she would be the way that she is. Like, I understand her a little bit more now. I get it. But I mean, she was the type of person, like, I realized, like, you just have to pick at her, like, a little, not like be making fun of her, but like, you know, get her out her shell and be like, girl, you don't have to be so serious all the time, like, we get it's your job, but like, you know. And I was like the youngest person there, I swear. So it's like, for me to be like that, like, but that's just how I am. I'm just like, you're gonna be nice, you're gonna be nice to me, I'm gonna be nice to you, we're gonna get along. That's just how I start out with people in the beginning anyway. I don't judge them, even though she was my store manager. But, well, she wasn't my store manager. I mean, at the time, she wasn't my store manager. She was the store manager of the store I helped build. But you know what I mean. Renovate. So I remember she was talking to someone. I'm not really sure. There's so many people. I'm not even going to mention everybody who I met at Guest, because there are so many people, so many names, so many conversations, so many issues. Like, I really can't just be like, this person, this person, this person. Like, I can't tell you every story. So if there's some, like, you know, spaces in between certain things, I have to, like, just know it's because some people aren't as important, and some people aren't just, you know, I don't want to tell that story or whatever. So she was talking to somebody, I guess, higher up in the company, and was like, I want to keep her. I want her to work for me. So I was like, okay, like, me? Little old me? So for me, after that, I knew, like, I got a job, I got income, and she said, we just need to talk about her pay. No one ever did. So at the time, I was one of the most paid, highest paid associates. No one knew. I didn't know it was that deep. I didn't know how much people were getting paid, so I didn't say nothing. Like, you don't talk about pay. So I knew, like, she is the type of person where it's like, honestly, for me, I take everything very serious. So I want to make sure she knew, girl, you can trust and believe I'm going to make sure your store is on and popping. Like, I wanted to prove to her that she wasn't going to regret hiring me, because I wasn't supposed to have that job at all. Because she must have saw something in me to want to keep me. Like, I'm appreciative of that, because I learned so much from her in general, just her. And then I learned so much from the company, and I learned a lot. Like, I remember coming to her and like, I want to know everything about this store. Anything you can teach me. I am not here for just a check. I'm here to show you that you can put all your trust in me. Like, my store manager at that time, the one who hired me, like, oh, I don't want to cry, because I don't know if she's gonna watch this video, but I've had so many bad experiences with so many store managers at that store, that specific location. Like, honestly, I was so mad when she left, because it was like, ever since she left, that's when things really went downhill. Yeah. I don't think people knew that it was gonna go downhill, but like, it went downhill. So for me, like, even just thinking about it now, like, her being there and being the way that she was really is something that we needed at that location. Something that I needed, because she pushed me. And there was other, like, assistant store managers there, and I was cool with them. I'm still cool with one of them. She does hair. Like, she's amazing, gorgeous, big booty. I love it. Like, she's just that person, like, a fun time. Even sometimes, like, when I hang out with her personally, like, she's, you know, it's not like it's all like, ooh, it's like, then she comes in and then she, like, kind of helps you, like, go through things, give you advice. And I mean, and that's why she's still around. Like, she's just that person that I feel like, you know, really helped me and really been there for me and really was there for a good time. And then there was another manager, you know, she's gorgeous, very tall, very slim, hair always on point. She was kind of snappy. I liked it. I was like, if she's gonna be the B word to me, I'm gonna be a B word to her. And it worked. Like, you know, it's like, some people, you just don't understand how they are, and it's like, for her, people didn't like her, and I'm like, I like her. I like her. Like, I like how she is. You know, she's kind of mean, but like, I'll give her the same attitude back if that's how it's gonna work. And our friendship worked at, and you know, she has a beautiful baby now. You know, she's onto other things, and I'm very proud of her, because, you know, we did have a falling out, but regardless of that falling out, you know, she taught me a lot, and she was really there for me. Like, we had so many great times. I feel like they were my sisters when my sister wasn't there, you know, like my sister was there obviously, but like my sister obviously don't understand what I would go through, I guess. And it was like I had two grown sisters because I was so young and they were older than me, which I loved. I could learn a lot from them, and you know, our dynamic was so weird, but it was so like real, and I would never replace my friendships with them ever, regardless of what happened in life with us. I appreciate getting to know them as women and really, you know, seeing how they are and seeing them develop themselves in different ways, because it's 2020 and they are just on and popping still and in different ways, and I'm so happy that we all left guests. But so basically those three women in my life were really important to me, and I feel like I had a connection with them, not like a weird like, but like a weird, like they're gonna show me how to be a woman, like at this store, how to be successful, how to grow as Simone. Because when they first met me, I was not the cutest thing. I'm not surprised that I was not hired at that point. But you see me, I was not like this ever until I met them. One of them, well, both of them actually, the two assistant managers, they were like, you need to have your nails done, like you need to be taking care of yourself, like you need to do this. One of them taught me how to do my eyebrows. Thank you, girl. Even though you saw me, I was struggling. Like she did my eyebrows for me at work, like to show me like this is how you do it. Like I learned a lot so from them. So I am appreciative of any time that I've ever had with my store manager and my two assistant managers, because wow. That's when, after all of them left, it was really like, girl, you're by yourself. Here you go. I was at Guess for maybe 6 months when they wanted to promote me. I think it was the, oh my god, after store manager, not the regional manager, it was someone else. I remember her face. She's so gorgeous. We had so many district managers. My district manager, it was a different person at the very beginning. I already checked on her on LinkedIn. She's doing well. She looked good too. Like she looked so different but good. Like, and she has a beautiful family. And then there was another one. So many people. The turnover rate, I guess, obviously was horrible. People would not last long, I guess. She told me, she said, so we talked to your store manager and your assistant managers, and they think that you have what it takes to be in management. And I was like, after 6 months, oh, best believe, baby, y'all do. But then I really felt that way. But then I felt like, I don't know, like, I feel like I need to learn more. Like, I feel like this is coming too quick. So, like, I had a meeting with the LP manager, oh my god, because they was like, you have to have an interview with him. He's going to be the one who's going to see if you are eligible to even become, like, to have an interview to be an assistant store manager. I was like, oh my god. I was so nervous. Like, when it comes to loss prevention, I was not that good. Like, I knew it, but not really, like, the numbers. And I didn't take it as serious. So then I was not hired to be a assistant store manager at that point. And I was not mad at it. I cried at work. Don't get me wrong, because I knew I blew the interview. Because, actually, no. The first interview I had with him at 6 months was on the phone, I believe. It was. And I was like, I don't know. They didn't really teach me that. But, you know, like, it was like I did not take it as serious. Or I didn't think it was as important. I don't know. I didn't. Girl, I was young. So, I didn't get the job. So I was little on me, but I told him I still wanted to learn because I do want that interview again. And when I did get the interview again, I think he was there in person, which made it scarier. But honestly, at that point, this was at a year. So 6 months later, he came into town to interview me. I think he was there to fire someone else, but like, you know, ooh, he was. Okay, so was that day? No, I don't think it was that day, but someone did get fired. He comes into town, like, LP always comes into town to fire people. He don't come into town for nothing else, I swear. But he was there for specifically me, because he wanted to interview me, and he was there for like a management meeting. And I was so up there, like, people were, somewhat respected me as a pretend manager because I was that girl. Like, I did everything. Everything a manager did, I did. And it's like, my friends that I was associates with, they were still kind of like, we don't take you serious. But it's like, girl, you're going to take me serious today. Because, like, I knew, like, I had to be taking it more serious than I did 6 months ago. Because back then, I was still trying to be, like, a friend to everyone. But now I knew, like, I had to be more towards this side. I couldn't be in the middle. I had to be more towards this side because I want them to know things are gonna change, but don't think that I don't understand what you're going through because, girl, I was there with you. So he came into town. I blew that interview out the waters. I knew it. I was not afraid of nothing. He asked me questions. Oh, you did. I knew what I was doing. Got the job, or the promotion, I should say. So that's when I was promoted. And then the regional manager, he done tried it. He done tried it. We were talking about pay, and I was like, I think I should get this. And he's like, well, you have no experience. Which was true. This was the first job I've ever had in management. So I was very much so underpaid as a manager. So it was crazy. It was like a little slap in the face because as an associate, I was overpaid. But then when I went to management, I was underpaid. Because we don't talk about numbers. But, you know, people talk. So I know. And that's why I had a lot of conflict with associates. But I really did not know what people were getting paid. People think I set that up or something. I'm like, girl, first of all, I don't have no loyalty towards you. And I didn't even know you. So when I was getting paid to set up the store, we spoke about changing my pay, but it never happened. So once I had that conversation with my mom, because once I got that first paycheck, there was no way that they could take that money away from me. It was a done deal. If they didn't change how much I got paid before I became an associate, there was nothing they could do about my pay from there. So that wasn't on me. I was just there to work. Later to find out I was going to get underpaid because managers there would talk. And I'm not gonna get in that, you know, because there was so many other managers and like it's just too much. But yeah, so it was kind of interesting how people talk but they don't want you to talk, but people gonna talk regardless. So, and I would question. I mean, I wouldn't try to question like, well, how much you get paid, but like people would talk and people would question and people would say, because I mean, we all trying to put pieces together because we try to make sure everyone's getting equally paid. But I guess that's not how it worked, I guess, at all. Because holiday people were not supposed, like before, got paid way too much, and they kept them at that pay because they kept them from temporary seasonal to part-time or full-time, whatever. Yeah, so that's when all the conflict really came about. Already know they know about our back room, so can we just do the back room? Like, I told my shipment guy, I was like, look, we are taking out this trash. I got a girl from the front. I said, come on, we gotta take out this trash because we got a visit today. And I think the visit was the next day, but like it was so much trash. It took me 3 hours. Me and my other coworker took us 3 hours to take out the trash. I was gagging, and it was like a long way. Anybody who worked at that location and either did like throw away trash or help build a store, you know that long little scary place looks like someone's gonna kill you. The back of the stores, Lord, it took you like 10 minutes to get to the trash. There was so much trash that it took us 3 hours to take out all the trash. So it was like, girl. And then they got mad at me for doing that. Okay, whatever. They always mad. She always mad at something. It's always something. And then she told another man, she told an associate, she's like, I feel like I can't depend on someone. Like, you going to another associate about me, a grown woman in management. So you really betraying me. So I knew after that, me and her, you could never get no respect from me. I knew. You old enough to be my mama. She probably wasn't. I don't know how old she was. You old enough to get respect, but you ain't about to get nothing from me. That's how I was. I was like, I would say, good morning, so-and-so. Oh. And then she'll put me back. Oh, so you're trying to be funny. You didn't say hi to me. Oh, you know, I just didn't feel like speaking. Like, yeah, I'm not going to respect you. Because you didn't give me respect. I refused. My mama taught me better than that. So there was a lot of conflict. So I well, all right, so let's just talk about me going to G by Guess. So let me start from saying this. If you're not familiar, maybe I should say this at the beginning of the video, there is several different stores for Guess. Maybe I'll just go over that real quick with you. There is Guess Factory. Guess Factory is the store, which is our outlet stores. Outlet stores mean they're going to be better deals, different clothing. They all have different clothing. But Guess Factory is outlet stores. Those are the stores where you're going to get like 50% off, 40% off, buy one, get one free, all that. Guess, which is Guess Retail, is the one where you see where Jennifer Lopez, Marilyn Monroe, Ariana Grande, Nicki Minaj, the Jonas Brothers, all the collabs, Camila from whatever that, like that lady, Havana, yeah, that song. When you see the collabs, that's Guess Retail, because that's the money making. That's usually in Florida, California, big money making states. Guess Retail. Now there are in other states like Georgia, pretty much everywhere, but like the money making, that's where you're gonna see mostly Guess Retail. Guess Kids. Guess Kids is in the bigger Guess Factory stores. The location I worked at was not big enough to have shoes or kids, which was always in Guess Factory stores. If they're like, because our store was in a mall, like it's an outlet mall, but it was in a mall. When you think outlet malls, you think outdoors. When you're walking in and out of different, like when you walk out the store, you're outside in the parking lot. That's an outlet mall. But the way this mall where I worked at was set up is an outlet mall, but it looks like a regular mall that you would just go to shop around with your family. So that's why it's kind of confusing. People don't get it. But we didn't have that because our store was smaller than the other outlet stores. And then you have G by Guess. This is the Guess Baby. This is where this is the newest part to Guess. They decided to add, this is more the hipper, this is more the young adult, like you're going to the club, like if you pop in. This shirt came from Guess Factory, but I have tons of mesh shirts that's more low cut and more, you know, sexy. All my sexy clothes from Guess come from G by Guess. So that's a new part. G by Guess, there was a few, but they closed down. Like they don't really do as good. They don't have a lot of high traffic as Guess Factory. Guess Factory is what keeps Guess in business. Guess Retail is what helped begin Guess Factory, and G by Guess is the baby. And then you have Marciano. Now if you ain't got money, like if you have $100, you don't have Marciano money. If you have $2,000 you have that you can spend on a shirt, that's Marciano money. That's what you're gonna find on Ocean Drive in Miami. Okay, that type. Ain't nothing cute in there, but yeah. So I went and I decided I wanted to work full-time at G by Guess because I was working part-time at Guess Factory. And I wanted to get out of there because that lady was so rude. I couldn't handle it. I refused to be somewhere. And if I was full-time, I would get benefits. So I really wanted benefits and I would be getting paid more. So I went to G by Guess thinking that was going to be the case. And they said, well, we don't need much help because we don't get busy. So I would be back and forth spending Uber money. I would spend like maybe $50 a day going from home to Mall of Georgia. G by Guess, like every day. So it was, yeah, it was bad, but I knew it was for a bigger purpose. I cannot speak today. So I knew it was for a bigger purpose, so that's why I was like, okay, this is just for a little bit, then I'll get paid more, then it won't matter, then I'll move out and over there. Like I had this all figured out just to find out they was really shitting on me more. Because after that, they decided to say, we need you to work for Black Friday. And yeah, I think it was just Black Friday. I didn't work Thanksgiving that year. Did I? No, I worked Thanksgiving. I didn't work Black Friday. I normally work Black Friday and Thanksgiving. So they just needed me to be a manager because it was a smaller store. So I was like one of the only managers. It was the assistant managers there. It was me and this other guy who was doing that. Little did y'all know that's where I met my boyfriend. Okay. But yeah, so I did that for Thanksgiving, and basically I found out that they were just using me to work for Thanksgiving. And after Black Friday happened, like the holiday time, they said you need to bring your black booty back to your home store. I was like, wow. So no promotion, no pay raise, no benefits, no nothing. You just gonna tell me to come back, huh? After I go there, work hard, holiday, you lied to me. You really lied to me. And you know, the thing about it, the store manager didn't even want me there, but like they had to. It was for the business. They had to. And I'm like, okay. So y'all use me to come to Jeep, I guess, help out because, oh wait, because you're about to fire the store manager? Yeah, that's how that happened. Yeah, so basically they had a plan again. Simone gets used for everyone getting fired at this point. Like I had to be eye candy for them. Like they knew, girl, if Simone's there, we gonna fire them. Like they fired the store manager of Jeep, I guess. After I was there, the district manager came in. He saw me. He's like, you're not supposed to be here. I said, well, I'm on the schedule. And the thing about that is he looks at the schedules. Like the district manager, he approves the schedules. So my name was on there. So I don't know why he said that. You know, he was a little racist. I think so. But, you know, he was cool or whatever. He came in. I was working. He said, stay right here. Stay right here. I was like, okay. Where else am I going to go? I'm still on the clock. Actually, I was supposed to leave. I was supposed to leave at 3. But then they wanted me to stay till 6 because they was gonna fire him. I had to wait because they said we're gonna call backup. They already had backup from another store to come take this man's place until they find another store manager. So there's a lot of shadiness going on. A lot of shadiness. And I was always part of it. So they used me, said come on to Jeep, I guess. Pretended like I wasn't supposed to work there just so they could tell me to go back to Guess Factory because they were going to fire the store manager, and they already had a backup manager to take his place until they hired another manager who, that was actually working at Guess Factory. They took the Guess Factory dude, they put him in Jeep, I guess. So they did that. So let's go about that again. I was promoted to be a manager because they need to fire another manager. I was back up. I go to GBIS because I wanted to go there and get promoted. They pretend like I wasn't supposed to be there so they can send me back to my store because they're going to send the person at that store, at my store, to GBIS to be the new store manager because they fired that manager. So until they could swap me and until they could swap us from store to store, they literally had another girl from another store become the store manager. That, my friends, is why I left. That's not the end though. That's not the end because, you know, I do things right. So after that happened, I knew it was over. I was depressed. Honestly, I was so depressed. I would cry every night because it was like, wow, I was done so dirty. And the guy who became the store manager for Jeep, I guess, he actually told me one day, he's like, you are the common denominator. Every problem that we ever had was because of you. Your associates, you're friends with them. Do you understand that they are replaceable? I was once an associate and I never felt once replaceable. I mean, true. Don't get me wrong, very true. That's very true in retail. The turnover rate, I guess, was high, so very much so true. He would have these conversations with me pretty much weekly, because I would make sure I would try to stand up for other associates, like, hey, can we try to give them more hours? Because they would come to me talking about, I have a car note, I don't have money because they cut my hours. Well, I'm like, let me try to figure out what I can do. Maybe we can use you for shipment, get you another extra 8 hours that week, something. I was trying to do something. And every time my management team ever pulled me aside to ever try to help them, it was to tell me that they are replaceable. They need to stop complaining. I need to stop trying to be their friend. I need to do my job, and that's it. And that I was the most common denominator in every single problem. Not to mention that person still tries to hit me up every once in a while. I haven't heard from him, but a lot of people who've been fired from that location was because of him. Yeah. But I'm not going to mention names because I don't know how those people are. And maybe I'm happy that those people were fired from Guess, because I wouldn't want them to be working there. Maybe they're doing better. But it was the way they went about it. It was the way they went about it. Because I never once wanted to disrespect the associates I worked with, because I've been in that position. I've been where I only had $200 in my bank account. Honestly, I was ready to go. I put in my 2 weeks, and my last day at Guess was December 20th, 2018. Yeah. And I made sure that my last day was before Christmas, because I've been used for so many holidays and for so many different situations that I wanted them to understand that I would never, ever work another holiday under that roof. I wouldn't do that. I would not give them. I didn't care about the time and a half. I didn't care about that check that looked so beautiful. I didn't think about it. I had keys, my personal keys, had my little Squirtle, my little pug on it. I was so ready. I took a picture. I'll probably post a picture right here for you guys, somewhere else. My last photo at Guess. I looked a mess, but I was so happy at the end of the day, because I knew when I put my 2 weeks in, I worked my hardest. I would never, and I tell people to the day, if you ever leave a job, if you ever put your 2 weeks in, make sure you work like you never worked before. I would never want people to think I would slack because, you know, F you. Regardless of what people did dirty to me, like, I've had so many situations. Like, I've been written up for other people's problems. I've been talked down to because of other people's problems. I don't even care. Like, it is what it is. I didn't care at that point. But I knew, like, y'all don't win. Just because I'm leaving and you're happy, little girl, disrespectful little girl, and that you're happy, little snakehead, like, people were happy that I was leaving. I was happy I was leaving. But one thing, I would never give them the satisfaction of me being less than what I ever been at that store. I told my store manager in 2015, I want to be the best. I want to know everything. I wanted to grow so much in that company. I would never disrespect the Guess company, the Guess franchise, anything. I would never disrespect them and just slack on my last 2 weeks. I worked so hard. I worked so hard my last 2 weeks. I was almost like, dang, maybe I should stay. Like, maybe they'll notice, but no. My manager just told me to leave my keys. She said, actually, I'll make sure you don't close. So I didn't close that day. But it was the happiest day of my life. It was sad, but I wasn't that sad. I didn't cry. I was like, bye guys. Why? Bye. Like, I was ready. I was ready. I was ready to go. No one could tell me anything. By the time 2015 all the way to 2018, so much has changed at that store. Like, I hate going into the mall and going into that store now, because it brings back so many bad memories. Because the difference between 2015 was I had a great team. I had people who cared about their jobs. I had people who cared about their staff and who cared about their customers. By 2018, there was people there just for a check. There was people there just because they didn't care. No one told them what to do, and when they did, they didn't care to do it. I didn't hire those people. I worked with them, but I didn't hire them. So it was like I had no involvement. So they were just hiring for quantity, not quality. As in 2015, it was more about quality. And it showed. It showed in the numbers too. It showed in the staff. It showed in a lot of people's attitude. But most of the people that grew with me in that company no longer work for Guess, and I'm so proud of them, because also some of their stories, that's why I can't tell their stories, but there's so many of them that have. One girl, she was the one who told me she couldn't pay her car note. She has now moved in to her new apartment with her boo thing, and she looks so happy with her job and her new job. I'm happy for her. And I met there was another girl that I recently caught up with who worked there. I saw her at Walmart. She's with a new man. She's like looking so good. Like, she looks happier. And she actually was a manager at another really popular store where I worked at when I worked at Jeep, I guess. There's so many people who went through so many bad experiences at that location that they're doing so much better now. So I can't even be mad at the fact, like, before I wanted to film this video, it was really sad. I would cry just wanting to film it. But now I'm just so happy, because now I know everyone who's left is doing so much better for themselves. There's nothing to be mad about. I did what I had to do. I was that person. I was the greatest manager I possibly could be to anybody there. And when I felt like I couldn't be that person anymore because I felt like crap, I just had to leave. It was my time to go. And now I have a better job, and I have my man. I met my man. I say that working at Guess was just to meet my man, because my man was like, ooh, I'm an associate. I'm dating the manager. Like, I met my man. We're still together, and you know, we both have different jobs other than Guess. We hated Guess at that point, and everything's working out. So there's nothing for me to be really upset about. So yeah, I'm happy. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about working at Guess that maybe I didn't answer, that you're curious about, feel free to leave them in the comment section, and I'll definitely get back with you guys. Let me know if there's any other videos that you want me to film. I can also do why I left Forever 21, or why I left Windsor, or yeah, anything like that. And trust and believe, I do want to tell you guys where I do work at now, but just based off my last experiences with my last employers, honestly, I'm just trying to keep that on the down low to make sure I'm happy where I'm at. Because when I made that Guess video forever ago, I was just starting to work at Guess, and I was like, I'm so happy, and then all of a sudden I wasn't. So I do want to make sure that I do love my job right now before I tell you guys, because there's a lot, especially with what's going on in the world right now. I just want to make sure that they're handling things properly. Their policies are a-okay. How they treat us is good. I don't want to bring that out into the world until I'm ready and I make sure that this is somewhere that I want to be for a minute, you know. So I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.